Well, today we are going to start our tomato seeds. So tomatoes are super easy to start from seed. Basically, all you need to do is have a pot with soil. You don't have to have anything special, and they are super easy to grow. Also, the tomato seeds last for a really long time. A few years back, I did an experiment not knowing that they would last so long. I had some that were like 10 years old, and I ended up with thousands of seeds. Luckily, I have a friend that has a nursery, and she was really happy about that. But unfortunately, well, I don't know, fortunately or not, my husband said I became infamous after that incident because I left them with so many tomato seeds. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show how I do this on a budget, and I don't use anything special. The thing that I like to do is reuse these pots that I get my plants in, and I also try and use good soil. I did have a big load delivered from like the city where they have the compost. I had that delivered and paid someone to deliver it. You can get that for free. We just live a ways away, but that's what I like to use and have found the best luck with doing that. But another thing you can do is just go to like Walmart or somewhere like that and get soil. I like to just look for things that has nice black soil. That seems to do fine for me. I do suggest to stay away from some of the seed starting mixes like Jiffy. I did that a few years back, and we grow a lot of our own vegetables to where we don't buy them from the store, and that year I had absolutely horrible germination, and we were like trying to find all of these plants at the store because I usually grow them from seed because it failed so miserably. So I highly suggest that. You can always use solo cups. I've even used cans like that you get your vegetables and stuff in. I've used that before and just drilled holes in them. You need to drill holes in solo cups. And what I also like to do is put them in a container. You can use like a lasagna pan that's reusable, but I got these dish pans from the Dollar Tree. I got that when they were still $1, so several years ago, and they have held up well, and I really like this. And also another thing I like is to use these containers because they're square and you can fit more in, and they kind of just fit in better and not toppling over. That's the thing I didn't like about solo cups. But solo cups are great, especially if you're like doing reselling, or also if you're just like giving them to friends and stuff. So that works really good. And so I grow a lot of tomatoes. I think last year I finally hit the mark of like exactly what I need. So I think I'm gonna try that again, and hopefully we will have the same results. I still planted way too much. I'm trying to be a lot more mindful this year about how much I'm planting. That way we don't have a lot of excess. And I'm gonna go ahead and plant 2 seeds per pot because some of my seeds are a little bit older. I know they generally do just fine. I probably will end up having to cull some of them, and me and my friend were laughing. We were saying how hard it is, and my husband said, I'll just do it. So he's gonna do that for me if I need to, but just in case if I don't have the best germination, I'm gonna go ahead and play it safe because I'm kind of traumatized after the year that we had the bad germination, and we try and grow as much food as possible. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go over some of our varieties. We grow different cherry tomatoes and paste tomatoes and slicer tomatoes, all of that. So I think we're gonna, well actually one other thing, since doing this on a budget, another thing that I do is I use blinds. That has been the best thing if you have pets to get into your blinds. These are things that are great to keep after they destroy them, and I just use that and a pencil, and that works great for tags. That's like another budget friendly thing, and they also tear really easily. So that's another thing I like to do. So we'll go ahead since I went over that, and we'll share the different varieties. So I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna just talk just a moment about my favorite, absolute favorite. If I could only grow one tomato, this would be it. This is the Sun Gold tomato, and it's somewhere between, some people say 65 and 70 days, and this is always my first producer in the garden. I love it. It is the best tasting cherry tomato I've ever had. I love it so much. But my kids like the Sun Sugar, so it's really good too. It says it's 65 days on here. And another good thing about this one is it also is a little bit more crack resistant than the Sun Gold. So I know sometimes you get them summer storms and you get a lot of rain, and that is an issue with cherry tomatoes. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So I also start these, I forgot to mention, I also start these in the middle of March. I've done it in February before and they just get way too big for the space that I have. So I start them in the middle of March, and I'm in Arkansas, so I think it's 7B 8A. So that's what I do for me. You kind of have to figure out the dates and see what works best for you, but I generally end up starting to get tomatoes towards the end of June or early July. So that's whenever, and these are always the first ones that I get. Let's see, I guess I'll show a few of the others, the cherry tomatoes, and then I think we'll just start potting them up. So the Sweetheart cherry, I grew this last year and it was amazing. It had so many blooms on it and it had really good flavor, so I liked it. We're gonna do the Riesentraub tomatoes. This is I think it's called the Tigerella, and also another favorite of our family is Snow White. This is a white cherry tomato, and this actually is a hybrid. Are a lot of these, but I've saved the seeds from it and grew it, and they are just as good as the store-bought ones. And then the Sweet 100. So that's our favorite for cherries. We're gonna go ahead and start planting these so I don't get all mixed up and I can talk more about them whenever we're getting them planted. Okay, so what I've decided we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the cherry tomatoes, and for my garden I needed 16 cherry tomatoes. That worked out really good, and I did 8 per bed. And I have them too where they go up the arbor. That works great. So I'm going to do two of every kind except for the sun gold. So I guess we'll go ahead and plant. I'll show you how I plant these. We'll start with the sun sugar. Like I said, this is my kid's favorite, and I really like Haas Tools, but you can get a lot of these seeds from Walmart. Let's see, these ones right here, these Sweet 100s, those are from Walmart, and they're like $1.60 something. So they're really not expensive. And what I like to do with Haas Tools is to buy them on a budget. Oh look, they gave us a little tag. That's cool. I think we may go ahead and use that. I didn't use it last year. So another thing what I do for their seeds is I buy them whenever they are 50% off, and that works great. I think it's like August or September when they have that sale, and I just try and buy all the seeds that I need then. That way I'm getting it at a very big discount. So we're gonna go ahead and write our tags for this. So sun sugar, I gotta remember, I almost wrote sun gold. So sun sugar, only need to do one of the tags. And what I like to do is just push them into the soil just a little bit and then put the soil over the top. And if your soil was in the shed too, it may be what's called hydrophobic, where it doesn't want to absorb the water. So mine was, so I went the day before and like pre-prepped this and got all the soil in the containers and added water. And I like to bottom water, but whenever I'm doing that to begin with, I top water too. So that helps a lot to get your soil nice and moisturized, because it can be like really hydrophobic where it does not want to take on water at all. So oh, I just lost the seed in that. That would be confusing. Okay, so now I'm doing the Sweet 100s. These are great too. I don't know if I mentioned the sun sugars are a orangey. You can kind of tell they're the orangey variety, and these Sweet 100s are red. So it kind of just makes your basket look prettier to have all the different colors. So I think we'll put some of these back. I have way too many. But the good thing is tomato seeds last a really, really long time. So like you can buy a package of seeds and they will last you a very long time. So let's see, these were the Sweet 100s, and these are really, really good. Like if you especially like red cherry tomatoes, I highly suggest these. They are super good. A lot of people really love these. And I forgot to mention too that these are also very prolific. So the Sweet 100s especially, and the sun golds. The sun golds to me are like the best as far as flavor, production, all of that. So they're really, really good. And then these Sweetheart cherries, I had wanted to grow this for years and years. So I got the seeds last year from Baker Creek, and they did so good. I could not believe all the blooms that it had on it, and it produced so good. They have such a good flavor, so I was really happy about that. So we'll go ahead and write that, and you can tear with the blinds super, super easy. Let's see, I don't know, they don't always do the best the best descriptions on theirs. Oh, here it does. It says 60 days on those, so those are even better. I don't think these were the first producing ones, but I may be wrong. I'll have to pay more attention to that this year and see. But we'll just go ahead and do 2 per cell. And other things that I've done too with tomatoes, whenever I grew the thousands of tomatoes, I started a bunch of seeds. I literally would just, because I didn't think they were going to grow, I literally just sprinkled the seed packet in there, and I had so many tomatoes, and I was able to just pull them apart and pot them up. So that is a cheap way to do that and grow a bunch at one time. Like, you can have them all like this and only pot them up and need more space once they get bigger. So that is also a good space saver too. So we'll do Riesentraub. Okay, so this one, I had read a magazine about a woman that lives quite close to where I live, and this was one of her favorite seeds. This was an older magazine. I want to say it was like Backwoods Home Magazine or something. And she was really funny. I liked some of her articles, and she said this was one of her favorites, and I agree. It is very good. It's a pretty good producer, and it's really cool. It has like a little almost like a teardrop shape with a little tip on the bottom of it. It's really cool. So like I said, it kind of adds variety to change it up like that. So we'll go ahead and grow a couple of these as well. And I think I had got these seeds on eBay like probably 5 or more years ago, and I grew these last year. They did just fine. So that's another place that you could get seeds from too, another cheap place. And these ones I got from someone, and this is, I'm pretty sure it's the Tigerella. They weren't sure, so we're gonna do that. Now this one is a little bit of a bigger tomato. I'm trying to think. It's probably maybe about that big, so you kind of almost have to cut it, is the only negative to it. But it is super pretty, and for some reason I didn't have the best of luck with my plants last year, so hopefully they'll do better. I try and run experiments and try all these different things and see what I like. So I'm gonna give these another try, and we'll see how they do. Ooh, dropped a bunch in there. Okay, so we'll just put those in there. Y'all comment down below and let me know what your favorite varieties are. Since we're on cherries, you can tell me cherry tomatoes. But for me, my number one would definitely be the Sun Gold. Okay, so next up we're going to do the Snow White. We're going to go ahead and write the tag so I don't forget, because that is another thing. You do not want to forget to label, especially if you're growing lots of varieties. I have made that mistake before, and then they just become mystery plants because you do not know until they start producing fruit and changing color, and even then sometimes you don't know what they are. So I always try and be good and label things. That is really nice to know. And I think I saved these seeds. Yeah, I saved these seeds on a paper towel, kind of like this. And I think, yeah, there we go. So what I did last year is I just kind of took the paper towel like this and broke it off. And then I planted it in the soil. So we'll just go ahead and do that. That worked pretty good last year. So I'm just going to repeat that. If I can find one that just has just a couple of seeds, we'll do that again. That seemed to work really well. That way we are not making such a mess. I guess we're getting our fingers dirtier, but that's okay. The dirt's good for you. I don't know if y'all have heard people say that the dirt can kind of boost your mood and stuff. I find that that is so true. It really does help a lot. Okay, so we've got that, and now that my hands are so dirty, we are down to the Sun Golds, and these are my absolute favorite. I know these are a hybrid too, and I have had them just, what is it called? I can't never remember what the word is, but where they pop up on their own. Volunteer, that's the word. I've had them volunteer in the garden before, and they do great. Like, even though they're hybrids, they still produce really well. Like, I can't tell a difference in like the store-bought varieties and like the volunteer varieties. So I really love this variety. They are my absolute favorite. To me, they have the best flavor, and they are so productive. I can't sing the praises enough. They are super good. And they do, the thing with cherry tomatoes though is they do get quite tall. So you need to have a pretty tall area for them to grow up, I really like to do the arbor with them. I think that's really fun, and they just look so pretty, and it's kind of fun to go underneath the arbor and plant all, or to pick all of the tomatoes too. So I'm gonna go get something to clean my hands, and then I'll be right back, and we will look at the next set of seeds. So I think what we're going to do next is the slicer tomatoes. So we'll get all of our cherry tomatoes. So I needed 16. Let's make sure. So I got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, I messed up. I needed 4 sun golds. Okay. So I'm glad I checked that, because I was going to do a little bit more of that. And I try and take really good notes each year. So this is how I know kind of what I need to grow. I found that has been really, really helpful for me, and hopefully that will help y'all too. That is a really big tip. I like to keep notes of where I plant things, how they do. Also, I like to take notes of what produces first. And always, if you're like saving seeds, always save seeds from your best producing plants. That's another thing. So those are all really good tips to, if you're growing your garden and stuff, to do all of that. Okay, so we now have all of the cherry tomatoes planted. So now we're going to go over the slicer tomatoes. Now, one of our favorites, let's see, how many of these slicer tomatoes I needed 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I can't quite put 2 of each kind. So I'll do 1 of those and 1 of those. So these 2, I'll just do 1 of each, and everything else I'll do 2. So we'll go over them as I plant them. So black creme. A lot of people really love the Cherokee purple, but we find that the black creme is even better than that. We love the flavor. It has such good flavor. Now it is kind of, I don't know, a pickier, more high maintenance plant. Kind of like, what is it called? I'm trying to remember. I can't think of it. I cannot remember. Trying to think. Brandywine, that's the word. I was trying to think of it, and I knew it would come to me eventually. So they're kind of like the brandywines, where the plant is a little bit trickier and a little bit more, I guess, high maintenance than other things, whereas cherry tomatoes, they are super easy. Also, I forgot to mention that I do my gardening in a raised bed, and whenever I first started, I was doing it all in 5-gallon buckets. So that's another option that is really cheap to do, especially if you can find the buckets on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. That would be great. But yeah, we really love black creme tomatoes. This is like, it is like a purpley black color, and they have such good flavor. Like I said, we like this even better than the Cherokee purples. Oh, and I also seen at my Walmart that they had the black creme tomato seeds for like $1.44. So that's another place you might be able to get it there too. So we'll do that one. And I think I'm going to go ahead and move these down and get these other ones to where we can see them better. I have so many tomato seeds to start here. We almost don't have enough of space. Okay, so next up we are going to do the pineapple tomato. Now this has been one that I have wanted to try for a really long time. So if y'all have tried this, y'all let me know what you think about it, because I have been dying to try this, and I have had these seeds for quite some time, and for some reason I just always overlook them. But this is the year we are going to finally get to try these. So we're going to plant a couple of these. I was trying to think. Some other ones that I've grown before that I really liked was, what was it, Tasmanian chocolates. Those were pretty good. They're just, they have great flavor, and they're really compact plants, but they don't produce very much. And I'm more about like production and efficiency. That's the negative to cherry tomatoes, is they, you know, you have to do a lot more picking for what you get, but also if you have issues with like a pest getting them, or if the cracking and stuff like that, you don't lose as big of a harvest too. So I mean, it kind of goes both ways. So we're going to try a couple of these pineapple tomatoes. And then another one that a lot of people grow, this is kind of like a classic, is Better Boy. These are like some that I remember that my family always grew. So these they're pretty good. They don't necessarily have the best flavor, but they generally have really good production. Like you get pounds and pounds from one plant. The same with the Sun Gold too, but these are a lot easier to harvest because they're bigger tomatoes. But yeah, these are like classic, really easy, easy to grow. So we're gonna go ahead and plant a few of these. I'm trying to think. There's Better Boy, Big Boy, that's another one. I think those are supposed to be like, if I'm not mistaken, like a pound or so. And one of my biggest tomatoes I ever grew was a rainbow tomato, and I think it was 2 pounds or close to 2 pounds. That was the biggest I've ever grown. So y'all let me know, what's the biggest tomato that y'all have ever grown? I think that's really fun whenever you can do that. Let's see. So I guess, so we've got Better Boy. Here's a Big Boy. Okay, so I guess I have Big Boy. Do I have enough of seeds? Oh yeah, there's not many left, but a few. Okay, so we'll do Big Boy. So these, does it say how big they are? I don't know if it says. Yeah, some up to 2 pounds. So yeah, these are a lot bigger. Does it say what these ones are? Let's see, 1.5 pounds for the Better Boy, and then the Big Boys are 2 pounds. So we'll go ahead and plant some of those too. These are like I said, if you're looking for weight, these are the ones you definitely want to use. So they are great for that. They are really productive too. Like the plants are generally just loaded. So we'll go ahead and get these. I'll still have seeds for next year too, so that's awesome. We won't plant all of them. And then we'll get these ones. I was trying to think some other ones. I know there's these orange ones. I'm trying to remember what they were called, like Lemon Boy, I want to say. That was one I thought about doing a few years ago. That one looked really cool too. So this one is another, like I was talking about the woman in the magazine. This is another one. I do not know how to pronounce it. I think it's Thessaloniki or something like that. Thessaloniki. And she really liked this one, and I'm on the fence about this. I am trying to remember if these even grew well for me. I'm trying to remember about my notes. I'm not sure that I even got these to germinate, so hopefully we will have that. So I just realized that I ran out of tags. Oh no. This is like the worst. I don't know if you can hear it because it's raining, so I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do, so give me just a second. Okay, what I decided to do was just go and break some of them tags that I left bigger into smaller pieces because I did not want to go out into the rain. It is really cold today, and yeah, I did not want to go out into that cold rain. So we'll go ahead and just do this. I need one more tag for this one. So this one that is hard to pronounce, but yeah, she really liked this variety, the woman that had wrote the article. So I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm pretty sure I got this one off of eBay is where I got it from. So that may be part of the issue, but I'm pretty sure I got this one and the Reason Shop from the same people, so you would think they would be okay, but you never know. I have had okay luck from eBay. Some people are better than others, and some of them are just horrible. Like I have had horrible luck. How about y'all? Have y'all ever bought seeds off of eBay and had horrible luck? Most of the time there was one person that had amazing seeds, and I still have some of their like greens, like the kales and stuff, and I have had them for I don't even know how many years, and they are doing great. So and they still produce really good. Like I grew them last year, or I don't even know if I started some this year or not, but yeah, they do really good. Now we're going to move on to another favorite. If you can't tell, we really like orange tomatoes, and they also have a little bit less acidity too. That's another good thing. So we are going to do the Jubilee tomatoes. This is one of my favorites. I try and always have this in the garden. One year I did not grow these, or something happened to them, and my kids were so upset. So we are going to for sure grow some of these. They are amazing. They're pretty good size. I don't know if this one says what they are, and they're also heirlooms, so that's really cool, and they produce pretty good. These don't say how big they get, but they get pretty good size. So we'll start those. And I was at the farm store the other day looking at plants, and they actually had these to where you can just already buy them pre-started. And if you are new to gardening, that may be the way to go. That is where I started. I would always just get my plants from the farm store, or I even had bought mine online from Gurney's before. I think that's literally where I started with tomatoes. Forever ago, I had bought some plants off of Gurney's. That was definitely not the cheapest way to go, but they did really, really well. I'm trying to remember. I did some type of paste tomato. I don't know if it was San Marzano or what is it called? Starts with an R. Roma, that's it. Okay, so it might have been one of those too. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do with the Jubilees. Okay, and so I like to experiment in the garden. And I was trying to do this on a budget, so I just looked at what I had. We went to get together on a live and planned the garden, and then I also kind of shared what I was gonna do in another video. But these were two varieties that I had never tried, and since I didn't have it in the budget to really go buy a whole bunch of different stuff, I thought I would just use what I have and try these. Now this one I had got at Dollar General for $1. I think I even got it in the clearance whenever they had it on sale, and this one was just a free seed packet I got from Baker Creek. So like, talk about cheap. That is definitely cheap to go that route. So this one is Mammy's Browns. I'm not really sure. It says it was named after the West Virginia grandmother who always grew them, and they're pink beefsteaks that are the just right balance of sweetness and acidity. So that's really cool. I love reading the story on these. That's so cool. I love that about Baker Creek. They have great stories to go along with the seeds. And to me, even better is if you have people that give you the seeds, then you kind of have your own story. I love that. So we'll do a couple of these, and I think that will be so fun. And that's really cool. I think these are heirloom too. Yeah, it says heirloom, so they're not hybrid or anything. So we'll give these a try. If y'all have grown any of these, y'all let me know what you think of them. I'm trying to think. There was another variety that I grew last year that some people liked, and it was just okay. I wish I could remember what it was called. My brain, there's so many varieties out there, and like my wish list is like insane. It's probably like up to $1 billion now. If I put everything in the Amazon cart, yeah, it'd be like $1 billion. So okay, we'll do that one, and then this one is the terracotta. It looks beautiful. I honestly don't know anything about it. It says it was introduced in 1893 by James Thornburn of New York. It has a honey brown skin, orange pink flesh, and green seed mass. So it says it's really pretty. So also this pineapple one was supposed to be really pretty too. Like you open the inside and it looks like kind of like tie-dye, kind of like this, and I love tie-dye. So I think that is really cool. I'm excited about that. We need to write the tags for this one. Okay, so I think at this one I'm just going to write terracotta, even though it's got the person's name. It'll just be easier since I do not want to go get the tags. I am limited with space, so that's what we're going to do. So if I call them just that, you know why. I just completely forgot. So we'll go ahead and do that. I wonder how big these seeds are, because it looks like these, it says it's a slicer with out of this world flavor. Wow. Well, that's a quite high claim. We'll see. Hopefully that does really good. So we'll go ahead and plant a couple of these. Where were they at? Here they are. So remember, like I just spaced it apart just a little bit and then cover them up ever so slightly. You probably could just set them on the soil and just push them in and they would be fine, but I like to cover them up a little bit. Okay, so that is everything for our slicer tomatoes. Now we're gonna move on to, I just realized, I hope y'all can see that. Y'all may not even be able to see that. I was so distraught over the tags, like this is what I have left, okay? Okay, so here we go. We are gonna do the paste tomatoes. Now this I also got at Dollar Tree, the San Marzano. I know I've grown these before and they did really good, but last year I grew these two from Haas Tools and they did really good. This one did okay, but this Shelby variety was amazing. I cannot believe how much I got off of this plant. So I am over the moon happy with this. I had did the Amish paste too, and I did not have the best luck with that. My plants even ended up dying for the end of the year. So yeah, that is not very good. So we're gonna go ahead. Did I do that wrong? I hope I got enough of containers. I feel like oh, there it is. I got another. Oh no. I don't have enough red tags. Okay, I gotta try and make this work somehow. I may just do my best to label it, and I will have to go back out another day whenever it is not raining. I forgot I had a whole nother tray of plants that I gotta do. Oh goodness, let me go make sure I didn't mess up too bad with the camera. Okay, so it says storage is low, so we're gonna try and hurry here. So we're gonna start off with the San Marzanos. Oh my goodness, I should have just got a regular pencil. So this is a really good paste tomato. I know I've grown it before, but I'm really curious to see how it's going to compare to the other one. I don't know if I said before, but I got this at Dollar General too, like the other one, that Mammy Brown's. So I am super excited. I'm trying to remember. I know I've grown these before, and there's someone I had watched on YouTube. I'm trying to remember. I think her name's Melissa K. Norris, and she grows enough of tomatoes for her family of, I believe, 4, and she uses, I think, the San Marzano too. So I'm kind of excited to see how well these do. I think last year we did actually meet our goal of what we needed for our plants, so that's really exciting. Let's see, I needed 16, so I'm gonna have to do math here. So a little over 5, so I'll just do 5 of these, and then I'll do 5 of the other, and then we'll do more of the Shelby. So that's what we'll do. We'll do 5. So I was thinking I only needed to do 2 like the slicer, but I need to do more because we really like the paste tomatoes, and we did lots of sauces. I think we grew enough this year to where we haven't had to buy any yet, and there's still some in the freezer. And I also did dehydrating, where I did that too, my extra sauce. So I think we're going to be good. We'll have to see, but I think we have figured out just enough, or the varieties that work great for us. So if y'all have a favorite paste tomato, let me know what it is. I would love to hear. And keep in mind, we are in the South too, so that does play a part. I was reading on the Shelby, or Tachi, one of those, they are like specifically made for the South. So I thought that was really cool that they're kind of made for our hot and humid summers that we have. Also drought. We have a lot of issues with that too. So I think I planted one too many of those, but that's okay. So we'll just write that down. I may have more of these than I will the Shelby, but that'll be okay. Okay, so I need to plant 5 of the Tachis. So we'll go ahead. I may have just enough of tags. Oh my goodness. What are the chances of that? So we'll do Tachi here. Now these ones did really good for a little while. We kind of had like a weird spring this past year where it got really cold. Oh, it's even got a tag. Well, I'll have it stop. It had a tag in there. I didn't use that last year, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll just stop it there. Okay, hopefully I have that many seeds. There are not a ton of, oh good Lord. There's only 1 seed, 1 or 2 seeds. Okay, well we are going to have to rethink this because I do not have but like 1 seed. Darn. Okay, so we'll put that there, and we'll just put that over here. So change of plans. This is what happens whenever you're trying to be on a budget. You sometimes just have to make changes as you go along. Okay, so no more Tachis. We'll see how many of the Shelbys we have. Hopefully we have more of those because, oh gosh, there is not very many. Okay, well I guess we are going to have more San Marzanos than anything. I think what I'm going to do, since I don't have but a few of these, is I'm just going to go ahead and plant them in 1 per container, since that's all I have. But this one did amazing. Like, I cannot believe how well it held up to our summer with the hot conditions, the dry conditions, all of that. It did great. So I am super excited to see how well it does again. And they didn't get super big. Like, that's the good thing about paste tomatoes. Most of them do not get super huge. I'm thinking of completely changing it up how I usually grow them up. I used to use like a fence, and I think I'm gonna just try and use tomato cages with everything but the cherry tomatoes. Hopefully I won't be regretting that. But that is what I'm thinking. And let's see, I gotta get 1 more over here. We'll get this. We'll plant another one of those. So that's going to be a Shelby there too. So I need to write that down. So we're going to scratch out this one that said Tachi. I cannot believe I did not have enough, but that's okay. At least we had enough of the other. And I just threw some extra containers in here. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do anything. I'm not sure either. So I think I'm just going to leave them here. I was thinking about maybe starting some flowers or something like that, but I think this is what we're going to do. So how many did we end up with the paste? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this was 9, so that'll be 13, 14. I needed 16. Let's see. So I planted too many of the slicing ones. That's what I did. So maybe now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to go ahead and plant more these ones and have them sun gold. I only ended up having 1 Tachi, so I think I'm going to put that over here. And let's see. So that'll be San Marzano. Trying to think how I can do this. I think what I'm going to do is put these ones that have tags over here, trying to make this to where I can make it work with the tags. So San Marzano, whoops, come on. So we'll do that there, and then I'm going to plant a couple more. Yeah, these 2 I'm going to plant as San Marzanos, and we'll just put them here. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then we can put the 1 Tachi back. That'll be all right. Here we go. I think that's what we're going to do. That way I'll know these 2, was it these 2? I think it was. Okay, so we'll plant some more San Marzanos. Okay, well, my goodness, that worked out perfect. There is like nothing left, so that's great. I think that's going to work good. This was meant to be. Maybe these are going to do even better. So I guess I ended up with a couple more. So I need to remember there's only a couple next year if these do good. And also I may just save seeds from them too, because I'm pretty sure that's an heirloom. Yeah, they are an heirloom variety too. So I think that's everything that we have here. Another thing to remember is to water them. I've still got some water in the bottom of them, so mine are fine, but if you're just starting out with yours, don't forget to water them. Hold up, wait a minute, I about completely forgot. Another thing that I do that is like budget friendly is I use a garden greenhouse shelf that I got for like $20 some years and years ago, and I put this in front of my south facing window. You would never know it at the moment because it is raining and a really cloudy day, but I do not use like grow lights or anything like that. I've done that before and I really wasn't very happy with the results, so I've just started doing this and that has worked great. This is what I do. I put this setup here and it's always worked fine for me the past few years. So I think that's everything. Also, tomatoes, they grow so easily. You don't have to have like a heat mat or anything. I'm sure they would probably germinate even faster, but for me, that's never been an issue. I just kind of let them be on their own and I'm not wasting any more electricity. So I think that's everything. I hope that y'all have a wonderful gardening year. Thank y'all all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave some comments down below with some of y'all's favorite tomato varieties. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can come along with us through all of our gardening journey. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.